So Marvel's feeling so good now. The rumor is Jake Schreier is going to take on the X-Men. He's going to be the director of the X-Men.
Okay, sure, Jan.
We made something people actually didn't collectively absolutely hate. Put him in charge of something.
Wow.
This is unbelievable. Remember, the Shang-Chi director was given Kang, and then they ripped it away from him to give it to the Russo brothers and changed it to Doomsday. So now he's doing the Spider-Man movie. And the director of the Spider-Man movies was supposed to do Fantastic Four, and he noped out because he didn't probably like female Silver Surfer. He didn't like the script. I know that. So, yeah, X-Men movie at Marvel Studios circling Thunderbolts director Jake Schreier to assemble new team. Okay.
So is this just going off the critic response rather than the box office
figures? Yes, it must be.
All reactionary. Mm-hmm. That's what's kind of sad, man. It's like, I'm a DC guy, and it was so sad to see DC constantly being a reactionary entity trying to chase Marvel, and they fucked up their entire universe. Yeah. And then Marvel starts fumbling, and then now they're also being reactionary. God. It's like, guys.
I don't think it's just reactionary. I think it's also like just a group of people that they can work with. Rob Liefeld put out a tweet.
Yes, he did. Yes, I was going to bring that up.
Like after this announcement came out, he was basically like, if you only knew the number of directors that passed on this because they didn't want it.
Holy shit.
So I don't think it's just like, well, this is our guy. I think this is a guy and we need someone. If I told you the names that passed on this directorial opportunity, your heads would spin. And he would follow up with a tweet a little bit later saying, now it seems like a lot of directors use their offers that they get from Marvel or the interest to leverage into doing other things with other studios, whereas they used to kind of jump at the opportunity to do a Marvel movie, and it's not really the case anymore.
And it probably has a lot to do with you're not actually directing a Marvel movie. A lot of the special effects is done for you. A lot of the action is done for you. These things are produced. They're not directed.
Well, when a director like Sam Raimi directs a film and it's fucking Doctor Strange mom, I'm sure a lot of directors said, oh, we see what's going on behind the scenes. We know that we are not going to have control. When somebody like Sam Raimi has a product that comes out like that, you can tell.
Yeah. Especially when there was only like 2 scenes that felt like it was Raimi.
Yes.
But yes, that's a lot of what this is. They cast directors.
Yes.
Right.
It seems
Fox
like it's
did a phenomenal job. With the movies in terms of casting, writing, and directing. Who could top Jackman, McKellen, or Fassbender? I honestly think it's a poison chalice to take this stuff on. It just can't be matched.
He ain't wrong. You're going to miss the Fox X-Men when Marvel's done with them.
I miss them now.
Yeah. Well, hey, they're going to be in Doomsday to all get killed.
Yay. Again.
Yay.
Fantastic.
Again.
Yes.
They'll kill Professor X again.
For the, 4th time?
I lost count.
Third, I think.
Ryan's not wrong. They cast directors, writers based on their identity, not based on their ability, and that's what's put them in this pickle. Plus, they also bypassed decades of really good comic stories. Like, say, Namor. They had to significantly change Namor because they don't own the rights to the Submariner.
Have you seen what Jake Schreier has directed in the past?
I did.
Kanye West videos.
Yes, he did. Yes. Yeah, we went over that.
It's my favorite now.
Why did you say that?
Director of the Kanye West videos taking on X-Men.
He's gonna be directing the Malcolm X-Men.
I wonder if him and Magneto will get along well.
Oh man, what a fucking timeline.
Working with Magneto was a gas.
It is bizarre that they decided to use Thunderbolts as their hard reset after Kevin Feige made the statement that Marvel's starting to feel like you have to do too much homework, and he does the movie that involves the most homework.
Yes,
with the characters. I find that ironic, but if they're gonna turn things around, we said it was going to take time. The thing is, I just don't think they have the ability, and I'm not going to get over the female Silver Surfer. So fucking stupid. It is so dumb.
Well, look, they have really attempted to short circuit this build up to Avengers Doomsday. And I think it's going to be huge, just from a pure numbers perspective initially. But because of Robert Downey Jr. returning, because of this cast of characters, I think there's going to be interest because of that. However, I don't think it's going to be at the same level where it was for these Avengers movies prior, because they did such a great job of building up to them. Now, you spent half of this phase 5 of the MCU, and part of phase 4, building up to a showdown with Kang, right? That's what this was supposed to be. That's what the plan was supposed to be. Whether it was truly just because Kang choked a bitch, or whether it's because his character was so just fucking, like, everyone hated him. It wasn't good. It wasn't well done. It wasn't well acted. The story was fucking stupid, and he got rejected. Nobody cared about this character. The big movie where you bring him out, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, was a fucking massive flop and failure. And so I think those reasons combined, they decided to part ways. So they part ways, and they desperately are like, hey, Robert Downey Jr. is coming back. We're changing this to Doom. We're changing everything. But you only have 2 movies that are going to be connected that to lead up, and really only one, because Thunderbolts kind of wasn't. We know they're going to be involved in Avengers Doomsday because they told us and made sure to tell us they're going to be involved in Avengers Doomsday. But I don't think that helped excitement very much. And then Fantastic Four. That's it. That's your fucking lead up.
That's your
to your
setup.
next big Avengers movie that has 50 people in it.
And it will have something to do with the movie, and Doctor Doom shows up at the end. But like you said, you know, phases 1 through 3, we had this slow build up. Infinity Stones were built up. We got the introduction of Thanos. He wasn't the big bad in Avengers, you know, and it took them years to build that up, and they should have been doing this with Doctor Doom or whatever back with fucking Black Widow, to be honest with you. That's where you've been setting it up. Like, it's such a directionless thing,
right? Like, they were for some of phase 4 with Loki, and with the start of phase 5, that you could tell that's where they were going.
Yeah. For one, bad choice to begin with. Kang's a terrible villain. We've talked about it a million times. Jonathan Majors played him terribly. And he got defeated.
Time.
Yeah.
You didn't think that was great? I thought that was Oscar
worthy. He got defeated twice.
Hey,
so before
he said that he was taught at clown school.
Yes.
Well,
and it showed.
I could tell.
And he got defeated twice, like pretty easily. So, like, how is he the big bad? And it, like, we would have still had Kang if he hadn't gotten in trouble. They still would have moved forward with this. So
because they were locked. They were locked.
They were locked
There's no
in.
way they would
And
fire him.
as Ryan has said multiple times, the only reason Jonathan Majors should have been fired as Kang is because he sucked at Kang. He was terrible.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's also a terrible villain. So we'll find out if he even gets mentioned again or not. But to the Fantastic Four, there is some news with reshoots or additional shooting, which is totally normal, which
never
is
a
fine.
good sign, right?
But there's some set photos of Shalabal in a
Sorry, come again.
Shalabal.
Shanapal.
Shalabal. Fake geek. Fake geek. Julia Garner as Shalabal on the set of the Fantastic Four for steps for additional photography, not reshoots. Don't call it a reshoot. I don't know what the fuck to speculate on this, but she's not the Silver Surfer. So the question that hits me all of a sudden is, where's Norrin Rad? Is he going to be in this? Is he?
Is this going to be? This looks like Frozen 4.
Do they sacrifice? Do they like offer her as? Do they offer her as tribute to Galactus? Do they sacrifice her? And Norrin Rad's the one who does it, or maybe he's just not even fucking there. Like,
yeah, like I think obviously 99% chance this is from before her time as Silver Surfer. Maybe she sacrifices herself for Norrin. How about that, Gary?
Oh, God.
What do you think of that?
That's fucking worse. I think that's fucking terrible. And I think you're right. Yes. Yes. I think she sacrificed herself to save her man, and he's just going to let it happen. He's going to go, thank you, powerful woman, for sacrificing
You are the
yourself
leader
for
of
me.
all of us.
You know,
What would be more MCU like? Would it be for her to offer up herself as a sacrifice, or for her to be forced by men to do it?
Yes.
You know?
No, she's going to save the man, because you can't have a man save a woman in current climate. Just what they did with She-Hulk, where instead of Bruce Banner saving her, she saves him. They're going to do that, guaranteed.
Yeah, but they don't sacrifice themselves in that, though. They still get out alive somehow. Because, you know, famous story on the Titanic. All the men went, no, ladies first. They went, oh, no, wait, guys. No, you've got to go on those boats first.
Yep.
It's got to be her getting sacrificed, okay? Because she leads Galactus to kill entire civilizations, right? And you can't blame her for that because that would make her an evil monster. So she has to be forced into this because then you've got an excuse.
She can be a victim.
She'll be subjugated. Yes.
Yes. Against her will, she did not consent to a man forcing his will on her.
Oh, God.
No touching without consent.
You know, by the way, this was all going around in the script room, and they're like, this story just writes itself. It's great.
I was going to say the exact same thing. I was thinking writes itself at this point.
Story for our time.
Yeah.
Well, they've already said that Johnny Storm isn't going to be a womanizer anymore. He's going to be less toxically masculine. Susan Storm's going to lead it, and then you've got
why we like
Pedro,
him.
who's going to carry every scene and somehow.
I think this movie was doomed regardless of whether it was good or bad at this point. I mean, people just don't fucking care anymore.
Well, I don't think anyone cared about the movie. Like, look at the casting. They obviously didn't pick people who were right for the role, who looked right, who could act right. They didn't even write the characters. Like, Johnny Storm not being a womanizer. Like, okay, so...
Reed looks sad.
Why is he here?
I mean, that's...
It's Pedro Pascal. He's on fucking SSRIs.
At least he's not troubling Last of Us anymore. So, So 2 months to go, and they're still filming, but that is pretty much the norm for Marvel, and... We haven't heard about a ton of reshoots with this, to be honest with you, and we didn't hear about a ton of reshoots with Thunderbolts, other than that end credit scene that was shot.
But they did.
Thunderbolts said they finished the movie 2.5 weeks before it released. That was in one of the interviews.
That's man, what a leeway for a Marvel movie. That's cushion, man. What are you talking about? They're usually tinkering with it right up until release date. That's pretty normal, and that's not just Marvel. It's a lot of movies these days. We can fix it in post.
There was like a lot of stuff that came out actually about Thunderbolts, about how John Walker was supposed to be the villain initially, basically.
I think initial script. Yeah.
About how Taskmistress was supposed to be there the entire time and she had memory problems. And like once every 20 minutes in the film, she would forget that they were friends and she'd try to kill John Walker. Like go back to her task initially. It seemed like it could have been a completely different fucking movie.
Well, here we are, and now you did hear what happened, right? So they're kind of reorganizing Marvel. So yes, again. So Vision Quest will be the last directly connected superhero to the MCU, and any D+ show they do will be disconnected. And while Kevin Feige's still in charge, they're going to have another person another executive oversee the television development, which is what they had before. So Kevin Feige can focus on the movies.
Oh, wow.
Well, they might actually accidentally get someone talented in to make those TV shows, and then one will be really popular and good, and they're going to think, can we bring this back into the MCU?
It's time to bring it back.
No, what will happen, Shad? It'll be good, but nobody watched it.
Yeah.
Because nobody fucking cares and nobody watches the TV show. Not even TV shows, the fucking shitty streaming shows.
Well, that might actually be a good thing. Okay, so assuming we get something good, nobody watches it, but like 10 years in the future, everyone's going to be like, oh, that show was actually really good. And then somebody talented will go, okay, I'm going to do that thing.
Man,
wait 10 years.
that is
better
looking
than
at the
what
glass
they've been
half full.
20 years too late, in my opinion.
We're doing a decade plan here, I admit, but
I can't remember.
I do think Hollywood is going to have to get used to lower box offices, lower viewer levels, and build back. It's going to take as long to win everyone back as it took to lose them.
Build back better.
You're going to need a string of hits that nobody watches, but word of mouth slowly slips through that, okay, this one you can actually trust. You're going to need multiple series of any one show and then repeat that.
No,
correct. You need to rebuild trust.
I can't remember what I was listening to a lot of live streams this morning, but somebody said Marvel's going full DC now, and that's right. So it's absolutely right because they're trying to rush through to this Doomsday thing with no fucking buildup, and that's exactly what DC did with the Snyderverse. So it's a great
plan.
They better pray they get the results because, like, if you're looking back on the Snyderverse movies, the early ones, although they were very expensive, they did make money that Marvel wishes they could make right now.
Well, you think about it, we've got Galactus setting up Doom. Galactus is setting up Doom.
Yeah, that's
not the other way round.
So at what point do they basically cut their losses and pull the plug?
They don't.
They're not.
They're going to run that shit into the ground.
Bro, they're going
all the way to the ground.
They're going to be AI and Robert Downey Jr. and
50 years.
Oh man,
It's not gonna be
really?
Yeah, they're gonna
100%. You won't need to recast Iron Man and Captain America because they can just fucking AI them for till the end of time.
They will eventually lose enough money, but then they'll simply just kill all of it, and we'll wait another 10, 20 years for somebody to go like, oh, hey, superhero movies.
I'm okay with that.
Nerdrotic.com. Please subscribe.